Hi everyone. So today I would like to explain Chapter 8, Cultural and Sociopolitical Context from Teaching by Principle by Douglas Brown. Okay, so let's get started. Language and culture. Culture is a way of life. It is the context within which we exist, think, feel, and relate to others. It makes us sensitive to matters of status and help us to know what others expect of us and what will happen if we do not live up to their expectation. And in language education and applied linguistics, the term cultures implies many different definitions and considerations. For example, uh, Winter Kurtz and McVeigh explained the so-called Big C visible Big C visible cultures refers to the literature, arts, architecture, history, and geography of the country in which target language is spoken. And then, whereas the Big C invisible culture implies the native speaker's core values, beliefs, social norms, assumptions, and legal foundation. On the other hand, the little c visible culture includes gesture, body language, use of space, dress, food, leisure, life, and daily customs. And for little c invisible culture is related to popular opinions, viewpoints, reference, or taste. And then culture, discourse, and identity. Teaching culture is a complex task. It might be that during casual interactions with speakers or of other language, most people are not aware of the impact of the invisible culture of both interlocutors. Sociolinguist James G refers to discourse with a capital D as ways of combining and integrating language, actions, interactions, ways of thinking, believing, valuing, and using various symbols, tools, and objects to enact a particular sort of socially recognizable identity. She uses the term identity to mean a socially situated identity, the kind of person one is seeking to be and enact here and now. Discourse is inherently political as it distributes particular beliefs, assumptions, social goods, social relation of power, and hierarchical structure in society. The operational distinction between a second and a foreign language context is usually concerned with what is going on outside language classrooms. Second language learning contexts are those in which the classroom target language is readily available beyond the classroom. Teaching English in the United States or Canada clearly falls into the ESL category. French language contexts are those in which students learn a language of other countries and do not have a ready-made context for communication beyond their classroom. Teaching English in China, Iraq, or Russia is almost always a context of English as a foreign language. And then globalization and language education. According to the British Councils, 250 million of these learners are what traditionally are called English as a foreign language or EFL speakers, while approximately 375 million are English as a second language or ESL speakers. Two issues have emerged for English teachers to contemplate. English is increasingly being used as a tool for interaction among non-native speakers. Over 5 billion people of the world do not speak English as either their first and or second language. Most English language teachers across the globe are non-native English speakers, which means that the norm is monolingualism but rather multilingualism. And then English is not frequently learned as a tool for understanding and teaching American or British cultural values. Instead, English has become a tool for international communication in transportation, commerce, banking, tourism, entertainment, and etc. And then The multiplication of varieties of English poses some practical concerns for the teacher. One of those concerns is the issue of grammaticalness and correctness. What standard do you accept in your classroom? Your students, no doubt, will be more interested in the practical, non-stigmatized uses of English in various contexts in their own countries than in imitating American or British English. They will own and use their English as an international language in their chosen global communities, and in this context, English becomes a lingua franca, which is the common language of choice among speakers who come from different lingua culture backgrounds. And Lurda showed that non-native English-speaking teachers offer as many, if not more, inherent advantages. Not only are multiple varieties of English now considered legitimate and acceptable, but also teachers who have actually gone through the process of learning English possesses distinct advantages over native speaker. Some of the advantages of an NEST are listed below. Support diversity, transnational, and translingual practice. Communication of people if in super diverse spaces goes beyond only words. And their practice measures in transformative ways involving diverse semiotic resources combining oral, written, pictorial, and design modes. And then the ultimate pedagogic goal to promote pluralism that acknowledge the difference between culture and identities while finding modes of social cohesion to accommodate the difference, and then a model of dialogical cosmopolitan. And uh, there has been an increasing attention to the concept of intercultural competence in the field of language education and professional development in general. This trend reflects the importance of intercultural competence for successful language learning and completion of professional tasks. According to Priam, interculturally competent persons are able to perceive culture in relationship both within and outside a society and are able to interpret each culture in the perspective of the other. In Europe, the concept of intercultural competence is discussed in a relation to communicative competence with particular attention to social and political context. And then a language policy. A further contextual consideration at play in your language teaching is a set of sociopolitical issues in relation to policy. What status does your country give to the target language? Does your country have an official language policy toward the language? How does this policy or status affects the motivation and purpose of your students? Language policy and planning is extremely important because it has direct and substantial consequences for society, economics, education, and culture. And many educational organizations, including teacher of uh, English speakers of TESOL and American Association for Applied Linguistics, support the latter policy. And then we moved into language institutional context. And then language policies on programs in elementary and secondary schools differ greatly from country to country. A few of the models are submersion, immersion, sheltered English, mainstream classes, transitional or early exit bilingual programs, maintenance late exits or developmental bilingual programs, and enrichment bilingual programs. And then for at the next age level, one finds a cluster of institutional English learning opportunities for adults who may or may not anticipate going into a college or university degree programs, but who nevertheless may need English for social or occupational purposes. The varieties of possible courses in such institutions are survival or social, family literacy, FECL or vocational ESL, and workplace ESL, and also civic education. And then for institutions of higher education, English language teaching programs also exist, of course, in four-year college and universities and postgraduate university. The three broad types of curricula that are designed to fit varying students' goals are IEP or intensive English programs, and also EAP, English for academic purposes, and also ESP, English for specific purposes. Okay, so that's all about the chapter 8. Thank you for your attention and see you.